Thank you, Admirable. How you guys doing? It's Kriparian here. I'm joined by Kibler and Saviz. How you doing, Kibler? You enjoying your BlizzCon so far?
I mean, it's been fantastic. You know, matches like that one, we were all just glued to the screen going like, what just happened? Over and over.
It's the nightmares that you experience on ladder, right?
I thought it was over. Then the babbling book happened. You even called it. We were talking about it like, only way for Pavel to get out of this is a babbling book. Into a polymorph babbling book from the top.
But yeah, wow. Crazy stuff.
All right, guys, so what we have for you guys is the Hearthstone exhibition. We have Challengestone once again at BlizzCon. I'm pleased to bring you guys another one of these tournaments where it's not just about playing, it's about deck building as well. Building your deck on the spot under a given rule set, under a given time frame is what we do here. And we have some interesting participants that on the stage will soon be introduced here that will battle it out in Challengestone BlizzCon. As far as the rules, it's an interesting one here. So you experienced this, Kibler. It is two players sit side by side. They both draft their decks at the same time. They start by picking classes. They have to pick unique classes. So you pick one, your opponent picks one, and once each player has 3 classes set, they move on to the deck building stage. And the first part of the deck building stage is to first switch seats and then add 10 cards, a total of 30 unique cards, as there are 3 decks, 3 classes, that you are basically putting into your opponent's deck. So you're trying to sabotage them. You're trying to start them off with each deck having 10 as terrible as possible cards. And you have 15 minutes for this stage, and then you switch back and you try to recover the mess that your opponent has created for you. So there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens here. A few of the little rules are that you have to pick, in the first sabotage stage, you have to pick cards that actually have text on them. So you will hopefully not be seeing any Magma Ragers this time around.
Unless they put it in the deck themselves.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. Again, just having one of means there's going to be a large variety of cards that, well, as you will see soon enough, are either just not so great on their own, or have very easy counters, or at least some participants thought so. What was your experience? You participated in one of these.
I mean, this is a lot of fun, trying to figure out ways, okay, you know, how do I make that deck bad, that class bad, and how do I maneuver my decks to be good against the decks that I'm setting you up with? Also, I think some of us just throw some cards that are kind of fun to see in action, you know, some wacky stuff out there, so I'm definitely looking forward to this.
Yeah, would you treat this as a competitive thing, but it being BlizzCon, and generally the participants are, you know, colorful characters like yourself.
I think
we try to have a lot of fun,
more seriously than others, but we'll see.
All right, well, let's see who's playing in our first few matches.
Thanks a lot. I hope everyone is ready for some Challengestone, as we have the first 2 players just about ready to go into it. So without any further wait, the first player is going to be 2014 World Champion Firebat. And his opponent is none other than the caster master himself. It is going to be TJ. Hey, TJ. Hey. Firebat. Okay, guys, so this is going to be the first match. So, Firebat, are you feeling confident that you managed to sabotage TJ's decks enough?
Yeah, I feel pretty confident that I'm going to be able to do it. I do a lot of deck doctor on stream, so I'm used to playing terrible decks, so this should be no different than that.
Okay, pretty confident. TJ, is Firebat just a has-been now, being 2014 world champion? It's getting on now, isn't it? You know, 2016 is now, you know, a couple of years old. Are you feeling pretty good?
He's getting old, yeah. Crip approached me. He's like, hey, you want to participate in Challengestone? You'll be playing against the best world champion. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing against those Kaka. But Firebat I'll have to do.
What have you got to say, Firebat? Because that was pretty brutal, from both of us even.
I thought we were friends, TJ. I thought we were friends. You know, I came into this expecting to play a fun game against my friend, my coworker, and he cut me deep, man. He cut me real deep.
Okay, well, there's going to be one way to get back into it. So, shake hands, guys. And good luck to both of you. And we are going to go back over to Crip and the guys to see exactly how these two made their decks.
Thank you, Raven. So, of course, while they're about to get ready there, we have to go into the deck building. Now, these players did the deck building earlier this week. It is not live. We'll see it a bit fast forward here, and you'll get some of the idea of what they were thinking. There's a lot of very interesting tech choices. You have to keep in mind, this is the wild format. We allow them to use any cards in the entire game, not just the standard format. And, you know, being restricted to a few classes kind of starts off the strategy. Firebat was mentioning how, you know, the game plan starts right away in the class picks.
Yeah, these guys are, at least at the moment, looking at the sabotage. Some of my thoughts, at least, in the sabotage phase, even the class picking phase, like, okay, what classes can I pick that don't have that many terrible cards for my opponent to give me? For instance, I was like, I could play Priest, but it could get me all these cards that don't really work well together or require all sorts of synergies. It can be really difficult if you have wrench thrown in your plans there.
Yeah, there's so many different ways to sabotage the decks. We saw some weapons getting thrown in there, Firebat putting a Cursed Blade, for example, into TJ's Warrior. There was some other interesting weapons, Tentacles for Arms, for example. Those are bad cards.
It's a very interesting weapon, yes. there's a lot of things you can do with a weapon, but none of them very effective.
One of the things that you see, I think, Firebat doing a lot of here, he's really loading TJ's decks up really heavily with weapons, and that gives him the opportunity to counter that strategy in his own deck building phase. For instance, if he fills your deck with, say, 7, 8, 9, even 10 weapons, all of a sudden I can play Acidic Swamp Ooze or Harrison Jones or even just Water Element in my decks, and that becomes very effective.
Yeah, 2 Oozes, 1 Harrison into each deck. Maybe that'll work out, at least in the semifinals.
And TJ is just starting off his opponent's decks by just going through the list and just picking cards that he thinks are really not so great. We have the Healing Touches, we have Savagery, we have Tree of Life. I mean, in the right deck, almost any card in Hearthstone can be highlighted, you know, in some effective way. It's just when you're trying to beat your opponent that really gets challenged.
Yeah, and some of the plan, too, is not necessarily, oh, I'm just going to put weak cards in your deck. It's I'm going to put cards that are terrible together. For instance, we see putting, say, weapon cards into a non-weapon class. Like you put pirate cards into Druid deck or something like that. You can really throw a wrench in the plans that way.
I believe Firebat put a Silithid Swarmer in one of TJ's Warlock decks.
What do you do with that?
You try to give a taunt.
I guess that's his strategy.
You discard it to Soulfire? Doom card?
Wow, the dream.
There we go.
You can add some silence cards maybe to kind of salvage that.
All right, so that's the sabotaging stage. That's basically the opponents are on one another's accounts trying to create the worst possible starting situation. And now we're going to move on to stage 2 of the deck building where they're back on their own accounts. They get that first initial reaction. It's like, what did you do to my decks? And they try their best to recover from this.
And we see that, like you said, the weapon support cards in the Warlock class. You see Firebat with... this is actually one of my favorite parts. We were sitting across the table from each other, able to kind of trash talk back and forth. The reaction is like, oh my God, what have you done to me? Looking at the actual sabotage cards here.
So Firebat's general strategy was he put a lot of weapons as TJ ran 2 weapon classes. So he loaded up 2 of his decks with weapons, and Firebat's running a lot of weapon removal in a lot of his decks. And TJ tried to go with the secret game plan. So Firebat was playing a lot of classes that have secrets. TJ loaded up his decks with secrets, and he has secret removal. Now, the issue with secrets is there's cards that have extreme positive synergy with secrets, such as like Mad Scientist, while the weapons maybe not so much.
Secrets are just good.
Yeah.
And there's no sort of negative interaction of having multiple secrets. Secrets, when you have multiples, it just makes them harder for your opponent to figure out. Whereas weapons, your second weapon, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, and you can also kind of figure it out that, okay, there's a lot of secrets, so my opponent is very likely to be playing some Eater of Secrets, and maybe you don't play all of your secrets at the same time, and in that case, this Eater of Secrets will not get that much value. There's another aspect to this. This is going to be a conquest format. So, you know, some of these decks might slip through as pretty decent, but in the end, it's the lowest one that has to really push through in the end. So
you're only strong as your weakest link here.
Yeah.
And this can lead to some pretty weak links with these deck building rules.
Yeah, last year's Challengestone as well. I can remember that I personally had an issue with one of my decks in particular. I had 2 decks that were working pretty good, but there was that one weak link, and that's something that these players might struggle with as well. We see Firebat converting his Sabotage Druid list into an Astral Communion deck, and, well, that can work, but that can also just not work at all. So, anyone's game here.
It is that kind of deck, certainly. I don't know I don't think that'll be the only Astral Communion deck we see in Challenger today. Just to give you a little hint of what's to come in the next match.
You can see the focus on these players right at the end of their time limit trying to build their decks. My original impression, you know, I saw these decks a little bit earlier. I was talking to the players. TJ was really down about his decks, but I think overall his decks are all right. I don't think it'll be as one-sided as his emotions may have indicated.
I think the best part to me are the names of the decks. Firebat named TJ's decks easiest game and my life.
Sending a message there.
All right, well, it looks like they're about to get into it here. These are going to be the first semifinals, and then we'll have the second semifinals after that, with the finals after the quarter number 3 and quarter number 4 of the World Championship later today.
Sure.
All right, about to get into it. We can see Firebat just looking at the audience. He's not intimidated whatsoever.
He's been here before, you know, not just on the challenge stage here at BlizzCon. He's been playing some maybe higher pressure situations than this one.
He hasn't only been here before, but last time he walked away with a trophy. So he has to be the favorite to win this one. But I wouldn't rule out TJ. TJ is a great player. I think he has a good chance. Maybe some of the decks are.
All right, and look
terrible.
at that hand from TJ, the Frost Giant Thistle-Tea Keyzon Mystic. Oh, yeah.
There's a few superpowers there in the wild format you do want to kind of include. There's the Doctor Boom. I believe it's in every one of Firebat's decks, and I believe it's also in none of TJ's decks.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, he could prep out Beneath the Grounds on turn 1.
The dream.
I actually kind of wanted to maybe see it happen.
Oh, God. Firebat literally just has a mid-range Hunter hand from a normal deck. Like, that's his hand right now.
Where's the sabotage?
A completely normal hand.
There's a pretty interesting thing about the weapon decks that we saw TJ create. He has a lot of cards that work with weapons, but he didn't actually include Blade Flurry from what I remember.
Yeah, I mean, Blade Flurry
Still doesn't make the cut, huh? When you have like 6 weapons. Still, no?
No, I don't think so. It's such an expensive card to cast. It's really hard. You almost need a preparation.
Well, he's got one. He's got
Well,
one.
that's true.
I think we may be seeing Beneath the Grounds, getting some Nerubians shuffled into Firebat's deck. The long game plan of Beneath the Grounds can be pretty good in some matchups. Not necessarily quite as powerful against a Hunter deck, but we'll see if it works out for TJ.
Oh, is he going to take the 4, do the double hit?
It looks
Wow,
like
he's really valuing that prep then.
Oh, got it right away. It's an ambush.
Just 1? Wow, never lucky.
And Firebat has himself a piloted shredder. We've seen this guy before.
Now here, actually, so for sure he's gonna finish off the Mad Scientist, and I believe Firebat's running probably all the secrets, but I think he's got 2 freeze traps, so it's a weighted favor here to get a freeze trap, because if he does, that's an amazing counter against the piloted shredder.
It would certainly be the best one for him in this particular situation.
Yeah, piloted shredder last seen in competitive play in last year's BlizzCon.
Yeah. And he's gonna go ahead and prep Eviscerate the Shredder. We'll see what's in the box. It is a Puddle Stomper. So it's gonna go down. And now TJ has a pretty solid
clearly not a freeze trap.
Yeah,
we know it's Dart Trap, but Firebat also knows it's not freeze trap.
Oh, and then another secret.
Another
This direction is
guide.
actually pretty interesting because TJ, with no. Oh, it is the Dart Trap. All right, well, it'll be 5 damage.
Oh, this could end badly.
And misdirection.
It ends badly.
Oh, God. Look at TJ's face as both his minions die to misdirection. A little bit of a booyah from Firebat there.
DJ's face just says it all. Never lucky.
Misdirection used to be a pretty good card to deal with handlock, from what I remember. It would be the giants running into other giants.
It is definitely a scary card in some situations, but TJ completely decimated TJ's board. He wished that was freeze trap.
Yeah, or that the minion just ended up hitting his face instead of the other minion. Would have been so huge. He could have went for the weapon here and the cold
All
blood.
right, he's going to invest the Perdition's Blade and Deadly Poison attack Firebat, but Firebat's ready. He knows a lot of weapons in your deck. I got Harrison Jones.
Well, Harrison for one durability might not be the best. I mean, I think it's reasonable to just Sludge Belcher.
Gonna go ahead and Harrison away though. Gonna pick up a little bit more value. Now Firebat is a handful of, again, completely real cards here.
That is not a good
TJ,
card to draw.
Oh, God.
Going for the oil, but using all these weapons is also dragging his life total down. And I don't think DJ has anything to heal with.
And that's not good against Hunter. Not only are you facing off against the hero power, but Firebat has the big minions looking to end the game pretty quickly.
It's high main into boom. I mean, there's nothing else to say.
This is real bad. Ooh, a Leroy.
Oh,
okay. Wow. Leroy plus Cold Blood. That's actually kind of a lot of damage.
It's 10. How does he draw 6 next turn, though?
Yeah,
Does he play a shadow step?
Oh, he can re-weapon, which he needs 5 more.
Oil. He could go Leroy prep oil.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, that's actually
Just
something
one
that
more.
if he draws
Could be
another.
lethal.
Oh, but there's Sludge Belcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, Firebat not bothering to Dr. Boom, recognizing the threat.
7 mana and not dropping a Dr. Boom. How does he do it?
Incredible.
How do you resist that temptation?
Yeah, incredible self-control.
Yeah.
Certainly so. This looks like it just might be over. Not much you can do with those cards, and a very one-sided game one here. Breaking the back.
He's pretending that he has the staff here. Ooh, missed backstab on own Leroy. And there it is. So Firebat with a commanding win in game 1 will take the lead in the series.
Hey, what exactly did DJ put in that deck? There was not a single bad card drawn by.
Well, his
by
plan was to give a bunch of secrets, and then he just lost to the misdirection he gave him.
Yep.
Who sabotaged who here, TJ?
Well, the thing is, a lot of these cards that are perceived as bad in Hearthstone are bad just because the likelihood or the situation to make them good is just extreme. So now, secrets, probably not that hard to create a good deck with it, but we'll have to see. For now, we'll take a quick break, and we'll get into game 2 when we come back.
The Hearthstone World Championship is sponsored in part by Intel, T-Mobile, NVIDIA, and Republic of Gamers.
Welcome back, guys. Now, game 1 in the history books. Game 2 moving forward. If you're TJ, your confidence must be shot.
I don't know if he had much confidence coming into this particular match. He's actually been saying
I try to rise it a little bit. You know, I try to give him at least on an equal confidence level going in, and I think that has gone away now.
Yeah, I mean, that game was not close. He just got absolutely trounced, and he lost. The funniest thing to me is that he lost the card he put into Firebat's deck. He lost to the misdirection.
Yeah, that was a pretty strong card. But that Hunter deck, honestly, just looking at the draw there, that Hunter deck was getting its win somewhere. So I guess it's not that big of a deal to lose that game one.
Well, as we've learned from our last seen World Championship match, losing your first few games doesn't matter that much sometimes.
Absolutely. We've seen some serious comebacks already in the World Championship. Will we see one here?
Well, that is a combo.
All right.
Yeah, DJ liking his starting hand.
Firebat giving the thumbs down. Oh, look at his hand.
Wow, that's not bad at all. This is looking much better for TJ.
Yeah, it looks like the tables have turned here, where TJ has a highly synergistic hand with
Protected.
mostly good cards.
The protected mana worm. Oh dear. Ooh, there's the Eater of Secrets. That is his whole game plan relies on eating those secrets. He's a mystic in those secrets. And Firebat, though, oh, he just looks like a Tempo Mage deck.
I believe Firebat actually put the Doomsayer in TJ's Warlock deck, and that's pretty surprising. I feel like Doomsayer is just generally a good card.
It is. Yeah. I think that he may have been thinking, okay, I'm trying to make this so you're not going to be able to build a zoo deck, because if he gives him minions that he can cast efficiently, then you can build yourself, even if they're bad, even the cheap minions are bad, you can build yourself a pretty decent aggressive Warlock deck. But Doomsayer clearly doesn't fit in that, and he's trying to make his deck less consistent by doing that.
Yeah, the Doomsayer does get dealt with here, but that was still a Frostbolt used and 7 damage going into it, so not too bad. DJ here going for the Void Caller, hoping to get the Doom card out early.
The crazy thing is just how good this target dummy is. Even though this is like another card TJ put into Firebat's deck.
That's infinite value.
Target dummy. Oh, wait, he's target dummy of his own. It's going to be a showdown.
Well, this bomber can swing the game pretty heavily.
Yeah, we'll see. Where will the bombs go? Oh. Well, at least they go on the minion. He actually doesn't care that much about dying. Potentially put the Doom Guard into play.
That's true.
That could have been worse.
We might see the Blingtron come down here. And
Maybe.
I'm actually not sure if Blingtron was sabotaged or Firebat just put it in, because it does remove your opponent's weapon in some regard.
Yeah, I believe Firebat put the Blingtron in his own deck because it is an anti-weapon card against all the weapons.
It's such an interesting way, right?
Yeah.
So you do get
sabotage your opponent with Blingtron, then you put your Blingtron attack against his deck.
Haha. No, wait, that's the haha on the right, on the bottom side.
Yeah.
It would give him, if he actually plays Blingtron, he'll allow the Warlock to have a charging Southsea deckhand.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see another secret from Firebat here, because he can be predicting those Eater of Secrets, so maybe not playing 2 at a time.
Oh, he might be
no.
going for it, though, the Kirin Tor Mage.
Yeah, I mean, it's
He's
pretty good. I
hesitating a little
guess on Mystic, it's better to have the Ice Block with the other secret, so then there's a 50% chance that the Ice Block is low.
And he's going to coin. He's going to go ahead and take down the Imp Gang boss, ping up, down, rather, the remaining Imp.
All right, not bad. Fairly controlling play, but Firebat actually is out of steam here.
I
he hasn't
think those
dealt too much
secrets may
damage.
very well get eaten.
Yes.
Don't you want to eat the secrets
Yeah, you
first?
eat them.
Yeah, you certainly want to eat the secrets first in case there's an effigy. Big eyes and Firebat. Ooh, duplicate and Ice Block both go down. That leaves a duplicate up with Eater of Secrets.
But do you want to duplicate those
I'm thinking
traits?
Kizan, sorry. He doesn't steal it, he just eats it.
All right.
I'm so used to the Kizan being the anti-secret card of
So you're
choice
saying
here.
you haven't seen many Eater of
It
Secrets
has
on ladder?
not come up that many times in games that I've played, no, but...
I think I've seen it once getting played against
TJ
me.
plays out his deckhand. He's going to get the bad news that he lost charge on that if Blingtron does go down.
Well, Firebat actually gets a Shatter off if he needs one. I don't know if he's going to. I think you probably just Blingtron and see what you give your opponent. And then if it's devastating enough, then you just freeze him.
All right, let's see. I wouldn't mind the Water Elemental ping either, because it's not much worse of a play, and you do get to remove that 2-1 so easily.
Good call.
Yeah, he is going to go ahead and take that down. And then that Dread Seed, not looking super impressive for TJ. Tentacle of Nazad, similarly unimpressive.
It just looks like a pretty clean Doomguard turn. I think it might be better to discard the Tentacle than to play the Tentacle, if I'm not mistaken.
It's actually
I think so
don't
too.
want it.
I think it's just I would have personally just played the Doom card there and go for the life step to get an extra card in the hand. But DJ does want it on the board. See if it works out.
All right, all in on the Bling.
Yeah, let's go. Haven't seen this card in a while.
He could have lethal here, I believe. Gorehowl versus Cursed Blade would be exact lethal.
I suppose that's true. I had not thought of that. And the Shattered. And this is another card that TJ put into Firebat's deck. That's killing his Doom card.
As good as an Eviscerate.
Yeah, took it down. And now, Firebat in a pretty big life lead. Wow. Oh, okay. Siphon Soul, that's a good draw.
Yeah, that definitely
Potentially able to
helps.
free up his Rallying Blade here. And now,
Yeah, Rally Blade's not great when you have that much HP, but it does activate your Silithid Swarmer.
it's true. He does have the tools to tag with Scylla the Swarmer now. He even has a mech to turn on that wrench as well. So he can Snow Chugger, turn on the Cogmaster's Wrench. Okay, going to take down the Tentacle first.
Yep, but looks like he might just be going for phase.
Yeah, he's just going to try to
He's the
keep
weapon.
his opponent
Oh,
frozen
yeah.
constantly.
Right, yeah,
That's his
this
game plan.
is a lot of Firebat's strategy with this Mage deck because he's put weapons in his opponent's decks. He's looking to just keep him locked down under freeze effects. Oh, the combo!
Dream.
Baron Rivendare with the Dreadsteed. It might not be enough, though. TJ is really far behind the life race. I see a little bit of a laugh there from Firebat. We are getting the Pony Brigade going.
Now imagine if the Tentacle was still alive. The Tentacle would have procced twice, and
Yeah,
it would have doubled.
but there is Fireland's Portal.
Oh,
No
that's
Tentacle,
lethal.
no Dreadsteed. Whew. We are going to game number 3, Firebat with a 2-0 lead.
Now, that was much closer than the first game, that's for sure.
Well, certainly. In that game, TJ Sanders had, you know what, looked kind of like a deck. And Firebat,
He had
you
a
know,
good chance. It's
his
just-
sabotage has kind of come up.
I think the main issue is when you go to top deck mode, if you get one of those bad cards,
Oh, yeah.
it's like, it acts like a landmine. Like I believe in TJ's case, it was the Alarmobot that did him in. But well, we'll have to see what comes up next game. Be soon enough. Game 3 is about to begin. Will TJ snag one? That's the question.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's looking bad. That game, he did get a little closer. You know, things were a bit better in that game. But you know, Firebat's decks just seem just stronger overall. He hasn't been as hindered by the sabotages. He's been able to build around them better than TJ has.
Yeah, and I believe that Firebat's last deck is going to be a Druid, and Druid is a deck that I feel like can't be sabotaged as badly as some other classes could be.
Yeah, when we actually did the class
that's
draft,
convenient.
Druid was my first pick because I felt like, okay, you know, if they give me cheap cards, I can potentially make an aggressive Druid deck. If they give me expensive cards, I can at least try and ramp into them. And Firebat here, he's got looking like he's going to be using some ramping.
Yar, some pirates there.
The other big consideration is that TJ's main game plan, while he's got the choice of any one of his 3 decks, you have to keep in mind that his strategy to put secrets in his opponent's decks is going to fail this time because Druid can't have secrets, and it makes his Kazan Mystics and Eater secrets particularly awful.
Right, he's actually already lost to the 2 decks that he built his decks to beat, basically, and now he has to battle through all of them, or battle through this one with all of his decks that are not suited to beat it.
Oh, that Tree of Life might actually be kind of relevant in this particular match.
This is a face deck.
Because TJ is playing a face deck.
All right, well, boom, Pirate Can to the face.
No drop here would be huge for TJ.
Savagery, the
That doesn't
perfect
do
draw.
it. That's basically nothing.
Yeah. Firebat picking up a little bit of air here. We did see that Firebat kept that Harrison Jones, and you know, while he is playing as a deck that he knows has a lot of weapons, that could come back to haunt him because he doesn't have the ramp he needs to play into other cards. Look at this, cannon to the face, boom, the Raider gets buffed up.
The zoo game is real.
Yeah, TJ's coming out of the gates here.
Oh, well, that's a huge draw.
Oh, suddenly the gates are closed. Ancient of War coming down. And he draws Eater of Secrets.
That is not an execute.
That is not what you're looking for here. There's a Blackwater Pirate. Those weapons, they cost less.
But
All right, just 9 more pirates to the face, and Firebat's dead.
That Ancient of War is looking at the 4-for-1 trade right now.
It's actually just a 1-for-1 trade. It's the Ancient of War for TJ's life, basically, is what we're looking at here, I think. Oh, wait, there's another giant
This
taunt.
hunt is just going to keep coming down here, turn after turn.
Yeah, this is not... Oh, Medivh!
That is actually a sabotage card.
It is, it is.
It is a weapon.
It is, it's true.
What do you do here if you DJ?
Cry.
Upgrade doesn't do anything. Eater of Secrets. 4 mana, 2/4. It's
You can play an Eater of Secrets here.
Well,
It's a legal play.
you might just do that.
Is he shaking head?
Well, we can see every situation from the caster's desk, and we don't see a good solution here.
Yeah, TJ.
So he's just going to throw one out there, basically.
All right,
Yeah.
I guess I got this.
I don't know if I like the Leroy that much either. He could go for Leroy. No, I mean, you give away the whelps too.
Yeah, that's the big problem.
Just the
here.
Eater here, hoping to pick up something from the...
Big thumbs up from both players. I'm gonna come and eat your secrets. You don't got any. Oops.
Oh,
Ancient
wow.
War again.
Another one.
The best part of all this is
TJ just.
Tree of Life is going to be insane.
Yeah, he can heal himself
it's
and
not
all
even
of
good.
his minions. Oh, you even see Firebat bouncing over it right now. He knows this is his plan. Ooh.
Well, that's kind of helpful.
Upgrading to Captain Greenskin. Okay, this
There's
is
going to be the
Firebat.
Harrison from
Yeah, it is
Firebat.
going to get Harrison for 3 cards. He is at least able to take down a tree.
TJ having a short moment of confidence that will soon pass.
Yeah, his dreams of being a lumberjack, though, they are not going to last long if Harrison Jones does come down this turn.
I think it's pretty clear that it's decent value here, but
Well, just going to go ahead and Moonglade Portal. All
right.
Oh, and hey, look. Got himself a charge minion, too.
I don't think he necessarily needed that, but it's kind of nice.
Now
here.
Firebat's
Set
actually in the
some
life lead, even. He's attacked.
actually, is he not threatening lethal even with armor up with the Druid of the Claw in hand?
Yes.
Yeah, he
That'll
very
be
well
exactly
may have lethal damage next turn thanks to that Rocketeer.
Dread Corsair is gonna stop it.
In more ways than one.
Yeah, this is not looking so hot for poor TJ. We see a bit of a frown coming across his face there. Oh, there's the Astral Communion.
Yeah, that's not going to do
If,
it just yet.
if only he would misclick that.
He could
That
just
would
cast
be
it here.
TJ's out.
He could just cast it here and he'd win anyway.
I think so too.
His board is pretty tough for TJ to remove.
Well, at least TJ made it on stage as a player at BlizzCon.
It's true.
You
He's
have to
here.
look at it in the
He
bright
is.
way.
Now he can give his weapon +1 attack. Just think of it that way, too.
That's a smaller way.
Very helpful.
Or just play Medivh. A game.
Aww. Getting the value from the weapon. Maybe Firebat goes.
TJ is just trying to increase his stage time as much as possible.
Oh,
right
yeah.
now.
Oh, yeah. And that looks like it's going to be it for poor TJ here. The 2014 World Champion Firebat showing no mercy. Oh, no, he is!
He's showing
He
mercy.
is showing mercy. He's going to go ahead and Tree of Life.
One would call this extended BM.
Wow, he's going to give TJ a little more time up here on the stage. He feels so confident in his ability to win this game.
Oh, and no more pirates.
Well, he has no spells for the Medivh, the Atiyesh there. He can kill the tree finally.
Small victory.
Just using that light's justice.
I have to say that I believe Ragnaros is destined to go face in this situation.
Magnus is always destined to go face. What
I
he's meant
believe the odds are increased if he just goes all out face and leaves all the minions on the board.
It's probably true.
I've seen this. I've
think
seen
that's
this
how it works,
situation.
right?
Yeah. Oh no, you don't want to do that.
Okay, yeah, he's going to
Well,
leave
technically
him.
the right play. This is not how Ragnaros likes to
Yeah, you
behave.
want to ensure that your opponent... Okay, there you go. If only he'd gone all out face that... Oh, the cursed blade! He can seal his own doom in dramatic fashion. Cursed blade. Will it be? Yes, attacking. Ragnaros does the most damage, but he gets exact lethal, and TJ finds a way to kill himself despite the Tree of Life.
Well, Firebat gave him a pretty savage sabotage there, as it turns out.
Yeah, it did not work out well for TJ, and who knew that the world champion from 2014 would have what it takes to take down TJ?
Well, he definitely had it in more ways than one. But let's hear from the players. Let's see what they have to say about that fairly one-sided match down on the Raven.
Thanks, Crip. And that was a pretty interesting series. TJ, Firebat even gave you a chance with a Tree of Life, and you still failed. What went wrong?
I don't know, man. My plan from the get-go was just fundamentally wrong.
It's normally a bad start.
I just want to defend myself and say that I didn't realize that the format was wild until about halfway through building my decks. Because I went with a plan of give him a bunch of secrets and then play Kazan Mystic and Eater of Secrets. I didn't realize that Mad Scientist was a card. Didn't realize that he could have Sludge Belchers because I built face decks.
Worked out well then.
I mean, he got lucky.
I got lucky. Okay.
Personally, I think we all need to band together because this guy turns up, he casts better than all of us, he clearly plays better than all of us, he's better looking than all of us apart from Raven. We need to put a stop to this before we're all out of a job.
Let's just give TJ the win.
I agree, yeah, moving on. The result has been Mulligan Firebat loses.
This is a democracy table.
Okay, we can see some key moments. Whoa, there we go.
That's BM.
Oh, that was when that misdirect landed. That was sweet.
He's disqualified.
He's disqualified for BM.
Hey, if we're talking about BM, you had the best pregame BM, but
Hey, if we're talking about BM, you literally had lethal and cast Tree of Life. I think you win.
Again, we're sick of this. How important do you think the deck building was in that aspect there, Firebat?
well, it's a deck building challenge, so it's in the title of the event.
But did you just outplay TJ because he's bad? That's really what I was asking.
Yep. No, I thought TJ played the games fine. He even baited me to Harrison Jones on his Deadly Poison. He was definitely putting in an effort, but as he said, his strategy just wasn't correct for the challenge.
bad.
And
It was. I mean, to be real here, he really did have like a game plan. We drafted decks first. We drafted classes first.
yeah.
And he pinpointed a weakness in my class like immediately. I picked two weapon classes that have a lot of bad weapons in Warrior and Rogue, and he basically just said, you know what? I'm gonna fill his decks with weapons, fill my decks with weapon removal, and make his turns awkward. And boy, were my turns awkward.
How many weapons did you have?
A lot. Well, there was one game, the pirate game, I was waiting for a weapon. That deck has 12 weapons.
So it was all just unlucky in the end, but congratulations, Firebat. You will be moving on to the final of Challengestone. And